Yeah.
Welcome back to Peak Speed Lab 164, where we're about to do the next vehicle, which is the 77 Toyota Celica. Looks like a fastback, the Japan Historics 5. All right, we're going to do this unboxing so you can kind of see what it looks like getting out of this package here. Then we're going to do our usual measurements and our test runs for this vehicle. Almost looks a little bit like if a Mustang, but I guess the fastback body type, that's where it's probably pioneered. So anyway, we'll do the unboxing, we'll do the measurements, confirm the track geometry, all the things, run the 20 practice laps and the 10 official test runs that we average, and then we'll be back to it. So again, this is Strick with Peak Speed Lab 164, where gravity and mass meet friction, and the ramp decides the results. All right, be back. All right, here we go with the unboxing of the Toyota Celica 77, and we'll see what this thing's about. So far, these Real Rider cars have, I looked at the pricing, and these are the ones, this pack of 5 that I picked up at, I think I mentioned CVS, local store. The Real Riders were around $8.99, so about $9 a piece. But they're all metal, rubber tires, definitely higher quality. But the you know, they don't seem to run as quick on the track, but here's, we got to look at the bottom. Really shows up pretty nicely there, doesn't it? This one's also made in Thailand. And this is, so my first car was a Chevy Citation, believe it or not, back when I was in the military many, many years ago, decades, and the color was metallic charcoal. This looks like pretty much that same color, metallic charcoal. When you look at it, it's kind of, it's just really a flashback. Not the same body style, of course, but it is a very, I don't know, I like it. It's pretty cool. Oh, I just saw that like scoop there on the bottom. That will be interesting to see how that ends up performing on the track. Okay, well, on to the measurements. Here we are, first warm-up run of the Toyota Celica 1977. Let's see how she does for the first run. 1.86. All right, we're going to track the 20 warm-ups, find the slowest and fastest speed before we do the official testing. But she ran pretty clean. All right, so we just finished up the 20 warm-up runs. And the fastest speed, so far all of these, it seems like the first run is the fastest. But the slowest, so the fastest was 1.86 for their time, lap time. The slowest was 2.08 seconds. Another pretty big jump. So these Real Riders run a little, so far, are still running a little bit slower than the first 2 cars that I ran, which were the high voltage cars that came with those packs. But we'll see how she does on the 10 real test runs. All right, we've got test number 1. Wow, slowest speed, that's the slowest lap time, just like the in the warm-ups. All right, we'll see what the other 9 laps have for us. Okay, we have results from the Celica 77 from the Japan Historics 5 set. This was a bit of a surprise to me because in the warm-ups, the fastest warm-up was 1.86 seconds for the first lap. The slowest was 2.08. Again, this is after 20 runs, or for the 20 runs. For the test, 10 test runs, the average was 2.034 seconds. I'm looking over at the database here. So this car was in the same weight class, not much heavier than the Trueno. And the Trueno had slower slower warm-up times for its fastest time, yet this car ran slower overall. So as we gather more information, I think this is car number 5, or this might be car number 5 or 6. So we've got the 2 high voltages. We got the McLaren F1. We've got the Nissan, the other Toyota Trueno, the Nissan Skyline, and then this one. So we're moving up there. So again, what I'm hoping to do is get enough so we have about 10 cars in each weight category, and then we'll do these other test runs, if you will, that we have. Like, again, I talk about the 164 scale quarter-mile drag strip that we're going to check for probably time and speed, and then we'll do some distance stuff. We'll do some races within the cohorts and that kind of thing. But looking forward to that. We're going to go through, I'm just going to take a look at these numbers. I got everything plugged into the database. Again, anybody who wants to see it, just let me know. But this was an interesting one. So we've got 2 more from the pack that we're going to run separately as usual. So the next one up will be the Datsun 620, followed by the last one in the set, the Honda CRX. This is 1988. And we'll run these with their own individual things. I know the Datsun pickup in John Racer 3's videos held a really fast time or distance in a lot of their races. So it'll be interesting to see how this does on a short form drag strip here that I've got set up. But hey, this is all about keeping track of the numbers that we can as best we can, and the fun of figuring out how these cars will perform versus each other within their grouping and that kind of thing. So again, this is Strick with Peak Time Lab 164, where gravity and mass meet friction, and the ramp decides the results and eventually who will win. Until next time, hope you all have a great one. Cheers. This is all right. I'm out.